Road Trip with Huell is made possible by the Automobile Club of Southern California and the AAA Travel Agency. We've been meeting members' travel, automotive, insurance, and financial needs since 1900. Over 4.5 million members turn to us for peace of mind and quality service. The Auto Club, we're always with you.
Well, hello everybody. I'm Huell, and here we are in Northern California. We have just pulled off Highway 101. We're on State Scenic Route 254, and we're getting ready for an adventure. We are standing here. Well, John, you're a state park ranger. You're kind of here to greet us as we pulled up this morning. Tell everybody, well, tell us where we are exactly.
Well, this is the Avenue of the Giants here behind us, and it's State Route 254. It's
State Scenic Route.
State Scenic Route 254, and a 31-mile route through the heart of the Redwoods.
So the basic idea is that you leave the main highway, go on a 31-mile stretch of road, which is we picked these brochures up at the motel last night.
Right, excellent.
It lists all kind of things that are out there for us to see.
Oh, exactly. This road was the main highway through here up until the 1960s, and then the diversion out here to the freeway. So most of the people drive by this and don't even see it, but we get 900,000 visitors a year that discover the Redwoods down this road.
Well, you're getting ready to have 902.
Excellent.
900,002, because Louie and I are getting ready to hook up with you today.
Well, very good.
And give us a hint of some of the things we're going to see, because this thing lists a lot of, redwood groves, but it also lists a lot of kind of touristy things to see and do here,
very true. There's many towns on the way and little tourist stops to see, and some of the most magnificent redwoods in the world to also see.
Okay, so we're going to see a little bit of everything
today. A little bit of everything today.
Now, you brought your family along. They're over here by the wave to us kids. Now, why did you bring them?
Well, they wanted to see what people from Los Angeles look like today, so we came to see you.
So here we are. Do we look any different than you thought we would look like? We do look kind of funny, don't we? We should be wearing our sunglasses and eating bean sprouts or tofu or something like that.
That's right. And one other thing today while you're here is we have a redwood run going on with Harley Davidson motorcycle group. And so we'll have 4,000 or 5,000 Harley Davidsons running up and down the avenue today.
That's what we wanted, yeah. And look down here. This is absolutely, now this is just kind of gives us a taste of what we're going to see, because this is just beautiful. Looks like we're going into the enchanted forest here.
Absolutely. We'll stop and see some different groves, some large trees, and I understand you're going to go to some interesting places, some tourist places on the way. But yes, this is just the gateway to the avenue, and there's a lot of big trees.
I like these touristy places.
Oh, they're fun.
They're all kind of drive-through trees, the chimney tree, all kind of burl shops. I mean, there's all kind of neat stuff out there, isn't there?
They've been working on those for 80 years for you.
Good. Yeah. That's what we want to see. We're getting ready for a wonderful day, going 31 miles down the Avenue of the Giants. We're heading out on a road trip. Okay, we have arrived at our first destination, and John, you've already come over and talked to some of the tourists about what?
Well, just doing the park ranger thing, we were talking about poison oak. They had just taken the trail we're going to go on, and we were pointing out here this little plant right here, which is one of the sort of little-known secrets here in the Redwoods. It's out in the ground, and if you got any on you, make sure you wash real good.
Yeah, isn't it kind of late for you to be telling them? They've already been out in it. Did any of you all...
We're covered up. We're pretty covered up. It's me I'm worried about.
So wait a minute, you were walking all around in those shorts.
North Carolina, we didn't know it was like this.
They've got poison oak in North Carolina.
Well, I don't get out. I mean, we can't believe this. This is amazing.
Isn't it?
It is, really.
It's really awesome.
Now, are you just starting the tour of the Avenue of the Giants like we are?
Yes, we just got here yesterday and drove up, but we just started the tour today.
So you're going to go all the way down just like we are, the whole 31 miles.
Right.
And it is an
awesome.
amazing sight, isn't
It's
it?
totally awesome. I mean, it's just, you look, you read about it, but to be here, standing in front of these 20 trees, it's awesome.
Yeah, and you take the pictures, and you know it's not going to look like this. You're just going to have to remember it. The pictures aren't going to do it.
It's really a
justice.
feeling more than anything else,
Right,
isn't it?
Right.
Well, nice to meet you all. Hope I'd go home right now and wash those legs if I were you.
I don't know if I'd be shaking her hand.
Oh, that's right. Have a nice trip. We'll probably run into you on the rest of the trip today.
Bye-bye.
Boy, this is,
Yeah.
you know what? We're from California.
Oh,
And
yeah.
walking into this is truly, oh my gosh, this is, look at this, Louie, out here. This is spiritual.
Well, one of the things that everybody does when they come to California is, of course, you have to go to the beach, and you have to probably go to Disneyland or that kind of attraction, and you have to come to the Redwoods. So this is one of the things that everybody has to do if you live here or not.
But the way it feels in here, the sense of the size of these trees. Are these some of the biggest?
Yeah, coastal redwoods, it's our state tree. One of our state trees are the tallest trees in the world. They're not the largest in diameter, but they're the tallest. And the tallest tree is right about 367 feet.
So these have been growing here for how long?
Well, this area probably came out of the water maybe 40 or 50,000 years ago, but these trees have been around here in California and North America for, maybe 65 million years, age of the dinosaurs.
Boy.
Not these ones. These trees you're looking at are probably anywhere from 600 to 800 years old. And maybe an individual tree might be up to 2,000 years old.
Gosh.
They've been here a long time.
Now these are in the park, so these are totally protected, right?
Absolutely.
These will be here for how many more 100 years?
Oh,
because they're going to fall of their own,
right.
you know, just from age after a while, they're just
Right.
going to fall apart.
An individual tree might last 800 to 2,000 years, but they regenerate, and the forest has been here continuously for almost forever, really. As far as I can tell.
Look at the size of these trunks.
They're large. They're very large. Down the trail here, we're going to go just a little ways. We'll see some other ones. This is a very average tree here, and you can see that it's survived fires and floods and all manner of thing. They're very long-lived, tough individuals and true Californians.
When you look out here, this is about as beautiful a sight as I think I've ever seen, just looking through the forest with the moss and just the quietness of it. We're right on the side of the road.
Oh yeah, we're just off the road here.
But the trees kind of protect you from the sound, don't they? It's kind
True
of like a
enough.
blanket in here.
True enough. Part of this forest, down in the middle of the forest, are an acre of land that has been measured as the densest foliated acre on Earth is here in this park.
Are we going to be able to see that?
We'll be near it. The area right here behind us is very close to that.
Yeah.
But there's more tonnage of living matter in this forest than anywhere else on the planet.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wait a minute, repeat that again.
The biomass, the living biomass, the trees and the duff and all the various things you see living, there's more tonnage of plants and animals per acre here than anywhere else. The rainforest in South America even. There's more vines there and it looks denser, but the size of the trees is so immense that there's actually more living tonnage of biomass per acre here than anywhere.
Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you what, if we've just started our trip here, if this is any indication, I mean, are we just going to keep seeing more and more of this? I don't guess you ever get tired of seeing it, though, do you? I mean, it just goes on and on.
When we travel, we leave the area and we go to Las Vegas or every places where when we take our vacations, go to the big city and watch movies and such. When we come back, you're struck again how different this is, how unique it is. It's the natural world, and this is a very unique place, very unique. But the park here, there's 53,000 acres of it and 31 miles of this. So it's quite a large area and quite a beautiful one.
Okay, John, now you're bringing us back even deeper into the forest.
Right, yeah, we're actually getting off the road a few tenths of a mile and walking out into the actual redwood forest here.
Now here's one that fell. And how can do you have any idea when this one fell, or?
It's hard to tell. They can lay like this for 500 years, and they just become part of the forest, a mother tree. You can see ferns and various things growing on it. And
this wouldn't rot quickly?
No, as you know, redwood decks and jacuzzis are popular.
Of course.
Right, so they last a long time, but eventually they are consumed.
Boy, well, they return back to the earth from whence they came.
Absolutely.
Now, wait a minute, this is clover, isn't it?
It's like a clover. It's called sorrel. And sorrel, sometimes in your upper echelon restaurants, you can get sorrel salad. And you
so
can
we
actually,
could eat this?
You could.
But we're in a state park, so we can't take anything, right?
That's right. Yes, you are in a park.
Now these?
For lady ferns, we're kind of going into a fern garden here, a natural fern garden.
Oh, look.
Of course,
oh, my.
poison oak here.
All right, now here's the poison oak. This is what we avoid.
Yeah, we have to avoid these. Remember, leaves of 3. There's your 3 little leaves, and everybody pretty much knows what a oak leaf looks like. And you don't want to touch this. If you do, wash your hands immediately.
Now, looking back in here, though, look at this.
Yes,
this is magical back
The natural environment here. It's very, very pretty, and very delicate also.
Now, does it grow here because of the sunlight and what causes this to blanket the forest floor here?
Well, it's the redwood duff is very acidic, and it happens to be the perfect medium to grow ferns.
What do you mean
duff?
What is duff?
Duff is the litter that falls from the trees.
Oh.
And we're walking on it. We get about a foot of that a year falling out of these trees, and it makes this wonderful soil that enables this to grow.
Boy, look at this. This is very intense.
Many thousands of years of continuous growth, and the trees come and go, but the forest continues.
Now, do I hear birds singing? Are there birds up there?
Oh yes, there's many birds high above us, 300-400 feet above us in the canopy, singing away all day.
So there are birds 300 feet up in these trees?
Absolutely, they live their lives there. You don't see a lot of wildlife down here where we are, but all the wildlife and things that are alive are way up in the canopy far above us.
Wow. Special breed of birds in these forests.
Well,
what kind of birds?
There's varied thrush, a lot of ravens. Probably familiar with ravens all over California. All the basic birds, stellar jays, all the birds that you would normally see, but here they're far up into the canopy because that's where the sunlight is.
They're living in the high rise here.
They're living in the high rises, that's right.
Boy, now wait a minute, this is the Enoch Percy French Grove. Now, who was Percy French?
Percy French was the first park superintendent for the Redwoods. He went on to become essentially the first park ranger here in the Redwood Forest. And the story of Percy French is a very long one. He's a very famous man amongst park rangers, of course. But just behind us here is the start of his story, is a giant tree that he was involved in 1901.
Where is the tree?
Straight behind us. We can't quite see it yet, but we go around the corner.
Well, let's get to it. Can
we
walk over to it?
Certainly.
Now look over here. I mean, everywhere you look, you're overcome by the depth, the thickness, the beauty of this place. Yeah, I know I'm beginning to sound like a broken record.
No, you sound like the rest of us who come here.
Yeah, I guess you've heard
this. I do it myself. It's overwhelming.
You know, this is beautiful too, just the way the old fallen trees kind of come up out of the ground like this.
Gives it depth,
And look how they have their own little ecosystem on each piece of wood, don't they?
Absolutely. Life all around us. So this is the Percy French tree, I guess we can call it.
Oh, I called him Percy. It's
Percy. That's Percy, yes. I don't think there's not an I in it, so it's Percy. It's an interesting tree.
Gosh, look at this tree. Now, what's the story?
Here's a banana slug right here.
Now, just look at this, Louis. This is a small little interesting part of the.
Right. This is UC Santa Cruz's mascot.
Oh yeah, they're the banana slugs.
The banana slugs, and they're just a slug.
Can we take it off the tree if we? I mean, and then put it back.
Well, it won't. You can touch it. You can kind of touch it. He's kind of slimy, just like a slug you'd find in your garden. Except here in the redwoods, like everything else, they're giant.
Oh my!
This is a small one.
Now, what is it doing up here on the tree?
It's eating. It's eating little things it finds here in the tree. They scramble around in the forest just like they do in your garden, like a regular old slug doing slug work.
Well, that's part of the forest. The banana slug is part of the forest.
Absolutely.
Now let's get back to the story of this tree. This is an amazing tree. What's the story?
Well, the story is in 1901, before the roads were built here, and this was even more remote than it is now, not a lot of people had seen the size of the redwood trees. So the French family, J.H. French, Percy's father, they came out here in the forest when this was owned by a lumber company, Pacific Lumber, and they took the bark off the base of this tree and shipped it down to San Francisco to a convention. And the tree was shown to millions of people. They reassembled the bark, and it looked like a full-size redwood tree inside of a convention hall. And so it introduced millions of people to the size of the tree. Now, the way the story goes is so many people were enamored with that, and so many redwood movements started that this tree, the bark from this tree, along with many other things, led to this finally becoming a park, along with many other things, of course.
So this was the tree that was, all the bark was stripped off of it.
Correct.
Sent to San Francisco, reassembled to look like a tree.
Right.
But this is the original tree that's been standing here without any bark on it.
Without its clothes on.
Since 1901.
Since 1901, and it's still alive. It wasn't completely girdled. Usually when you girdle a tree and you take the cambium off, the living outside of the tree, the bark, that would kill the tree. But they didn't take it all off. They left a little on the back, and so the tree is still vibrant and alive.
Boy, what a bit of history that is.
It's a little strange, but you can see it here at Humboldt, so there it is.
Yeah, along with the banana slug.
With the banana slug.
Now this just goes all the way back.
Oh yes, yes. This just goes off into the forest. There's a few thousand acres that this trail goes through, and it looks like this, depending on what your needs or wants are, how far you want to get back off the road and do what you're going to do, paint pictures, sit on a rock, sleep, listen to the sounds. It's here, and it's public property waiting to be discovered.
Can we just stand here for a minute and quietly reflect and think about this wonderful, wonderful forest that we're visiting and just enjoy the quietness and the sound of the birds? Well, John, as we're leaving this grove, a lot happened right here in the space of a few minutes.
Yes.
First off, you pointed out to us as we were walking down the trail, when we came across this big limb right here, what did you call this?
A widowmaker.
A widowmaker.
Right. Maybe people have heard that term, but the trees being so tall, when the large branches, when the wind blows, fall, they fall a long distance to the forest floor, and they stab into the forest. And if you'd been walking through there and it had hit you and done you in, then if you were married, your wife would be a widow.
So this happened a lot, and there was never really any warning. A big limb like this could just snap right off and come right down and impale you.
Yes.
Or hit you on the head or whatever.
Right. During winter storms, when the wind blows, it can be dangerous here. But in the summertime, it's usually nice and quiet.
So we know to be on our guard for falling limbs.
Yes. Yes.
And you've already warned us about the poison oak.
Right.
Because we're from the city, Louie and I are from the city. You warned us about the poison oak. And what happened as we were watching your son Kyle run through the grove?
Well, Kyle was running through the grove, and he brushed against some poison oak and got some on his hand. But luckily, he was rescued by one of our park visitors here.
Yes, and I met this gentleman earlier. Your name, sir, is?
David Tegardine.
And you are from?
Huell, Michigan.
From Michigan. And so pull out that medicine there. You had some hand sanitizer in your van out there.
Wife carries it all the time.
So you helped out little Kyle here.
Right.
You think that's protected him, cleaned it all off? And
Yeah, just a little water and soap. If you get it right away, it'll save you a lot of itching.
All right, so thank goodness you were here. And the other thing was we were talking about, because you were taking pictures and I was trying to take pictures, about how difficult it is to take pictures of these trees.
Concept is I told you, take them just a section at a time, because all you can do is get a little piece. But with my my little movie camera, I felt I was getting better results because I could pan the length of the tree.
But it's
the width of
hard,
the
isn't
tree.
it? It's hard. Are a lot
Yeah.
of is this common to hear this?
Absolutely. We actually have a photography guide at our visitor center to explain that. But yes, it's very difficult to get a good picture of a redwood tree. Because they're
just
so
too
big. They're too big.
And you were mentioning the lighting.
Light span, yeah, light span. I experimenting with more speed, and
Because it's dark down at the bottom,
Very
it's light
dark
at the
and-
top.
As you've been experiencing today, changing weather conditions, and yeah, it's very difficult. But I'm sure you'll all do pretty well.
Hopefully, I'm sure Louis
Yeah.
got some good shots.
Right.
And you are excited about being here with your kids.
Yes, this is actually because we spend so much time interpreting to the public to come out here and see all the beautiful trails. We spend our day always in the visitor center or telling the public. We don't get much out.
So
you
you're
know?
telling me that this is the first time your family has ever been to this grove?
That's right. This is the first time they've been right here. That's true.
See, that's the oldest story in the world. People travel here from all over the world. You live right here, and you've never been here before.
Not this particular grove.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. This.
You better watch out for your son. He's going to end up getting some more poison oak on him before the
Right.
day's over. All right, we're moving on. I don't know whether it gets any better than this,
Well, we'll see.
but we're going to move on. We're going to leave you behind.
oh,
Right.
that's all right.
Thank
Although
you. Thanks,
I have a
thanks for
feeling
the help.
we may
All
need
right.
that poison oak medicine before the day's over.
We may, but hopefully not. Hopefully not for you.
Good
and,
luck with
and
your
Louise.
pictures.
Okay.
People back in Michigan aren't going to believe this, are they?
No, they're not. My brother's been out here, and he told me that there's no way to describe them, and he's right. You got to see them. That's the only way you can describe them.
Here come the Harleys. Howdy. We heard there were a bunch of Harleys in the Avenue of the Giants today.
Yes, there are.
Where have y'all been so far?
All over the place.
Just up and
in the-
down?
yeah.
Well, what do you think of the Redwoods?
I've been here before. I love them.
Where are you from?
I'm from Washington.
Washington
The
State?
of, yes.
Oh, all right. And where are you all from? Mission Viejo?
Yeah, Orange County.
Now, they don't have anything like this down there.
No way. That's why we're up here.
What do you think about all of this?
It's awesome. We love it. It's
Do you
absolutely
pull
awesome.
over and take a look, or are you just going up and down the road?
Well, we pulled over, take a look. Now we're going to get some photo opportunities with this big picture over here.
Ah, great. So you're going over to the immortal tree.
Yes, we are.
Okay, that's where we're heading. We'll meet you over there. John, we had pulled over here because this is kind of an example
Right.
of one of the tourist stops.
Right. Throughout the park, there's private holdings surrounded by the park that people come to visit and buy things and get information.
And have their pictures made like this. You're the owner.
Yes, sir.
Your name is?
Dean Lewis.
Now tell us, we just got some of the Harley. You know, there's 7,000 Harleys today.
Oh yes, yeah, that's an annual Harley run down near Piercy.
All right, so the idea is, I just was talking to them, they want to have their picture made by the immortal tree. Tell us about the immortal tree. It looks pretty tall to me.
Well, the immortal tree is estimated to be about 950 years old. It's about 248 feet tall. The uppermost top of the tree has been gone for years, but when its original height was probably about 300 feet.
Now that was a widowmaker.
Yes.
When that fell out of there, John was telling us about the limbs being called widowmakers. That made a whole bunch of widows when it fell, didn't it?
If it hit a person, it sure made a widow.
All right, now why is it called, come on kids, are you all listening to all this? because he's given us the tour here.
Well, the term immortal tree really speaks to the whole species, and this one tree is a good example of the immortality of the redwood species. The main item about the immortal tree is where you see the axe there. In 1908, when Holmes Eureka Logging Company harvested Holmes Flat, which is about a 3,000 acre section of land behind us, they chopped an undercut in the tree, and that's what the direction they wanted the tree to fall. And
so it was supposed to fall.
Yeah, they had the undercut chopped in. You can see where it healed up there, where the axe is. And for some reason that we don't know, either there was a property dispute with the property line running through the tree, or they weren't able to take the old misery whip handsaw because the other tree behind it, they weren't able to make the back cut. For whatever reason, the tree was not felled in 1908. It survived the logger's axe in 1908, the forest fire. They burned all the slash at that time before they cut the logs into lengths, and also lightning, which removed the top. And you see the fish is, that's the high water level of the 1964 flood. Wow. So the spiel on the tree is it's survived fire, flood, and logger's axe.
Ah, now that's a good angle, isn't it?
Sure, yeah, the immortal tree. Very much like many of the other trees in the park, but this one's here on the edge, and a nice interpretive message for people to see.
So really, these tourist stops, a lot of them have a purpose to them. I mean, they educate and inform.
It's part of the experience. Coming to the Redwoods, seeing the park, and coming to these places are also part of it.
Well, let's stand over here by the immortal tree. Come on, kids, let's stand over here. Well, no, let's go inside. Where do most people stand?
Oh, a lot of people like to stand by the sign. That way they're able to get the interpretive message.
But if you stand by the sign, you can't see the height of the tree.
It's very difficult to photograph these trees.
Yeah.
From any angle or any distance. People go all the way to the back corner of the parking lot trying to get the full length and still aren't able to do it.
Yeah.
With the new panoramic cameras, they've been able to capture the entire length, but it's hard to do with the traditional camera.
Now, have you been running this place for a long time?
My parents started the business here in 1967. And I've been actively involved in it since 1980.
So you've seen a lot of people come by here and have their
millions
picture.
of them.
Yeah. And you have a little gift shop there that's filled with items made out of wood.
Yes, sir.
And here we are, Louie. We're going to have our picture made. Come on out here, kids. We're having an official picture made in front of the immortal tree. But in order to get the immortal tree, Louie's got to pan way, way up. It's a beautiful tree, and it's immortal. At least that's what the sign says. Well, now, John, you know, Louie and I are from L.A., so we've been out here in the wilderness for over an hour now. We needed some little touch of the urban life, so you have brought us into town.
Right, this is the town of Redcrest. Population maybe 150 or so, and today we have the Harley Run going on, like I said, so we have a lot of visitors today.
So there's a lot of activity. There's the Redcrest Grocery and General Store. You look down here, you've got a little gift shop down here, a couple of motels and cafes, and basically that's it. You got a RV park across the street over here.
Yeah, well, a few cabins to stay in, everything that the visitor might need for this end of the park.
So this is totally dependent on the tourist trade here. That's what this is.
Absolutely, totally dependent on visiting the park.
Now, is this a historic town? Would this have been a lumber town years ago?
Yes, just out of town. It still is. There's a mill just out of town here, and some people work there. But yes, logs are brought in not from the park and turned into redwood dogwood boards for fences and jacuzzis and stuff like that.
So wait a minute. They're still actually cutting down redwood trees in this area?
on private land, there is some logging still going on, but
None of the old growth. That's all protected, right?
all the old growth's protected, yeah.
Because I got to tell you, driving down here, Louis and I were talking about these beautiful big trees and thinking that if they weren't protected, they would have long ago been cut down.
Absolutely. If they weren't in the park or protected, they would have gone to the mill.
Well, thank goodness for the park.
That's right.
And the good that it's doing and preserving.
Yes, it's
these
wonderful.
redwoods.
It's a wonderful thing.
And you still have, though, the economics of the timber harvesting in the surrounding areas, which is okay because it's a replenishable resource, right?
Right. There's forestry lands. There's maybe 500,000 acres around us here that are in timber production. And they're not old growth trees, they're second and third growth trees. And yeah, they feed the mill and keep jobs in the area.
Yeah, so there's a balance.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go over and I don't know whether we want to wade into this group over here or not. This is a, howdy fellas. Where are y'all from? There's no way I can interview this man right here. There you go. Where are you from?
Folsom.
From Folsom?
Yep.
So you're down here as part of this whole big weekend down here?
Down here just having a good time, enjoying a good ride.
Looking at the big trees.
Oh, beautiful trees.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What's not to like about the trees? Everybody likes the trees.
I just focus on the road though, the trees in the way.
Yeah.
It's like, but I like the trees, they're very pretty.
Yeah, that could be a problem. You're driving down the road, you're looking up at all.
Slow down and when you want to race, but you know.
Yeah.
Keep on paying attention to the road.
Well, is everybody enjoying the trees? That's what we're here to do a story about.
Absolutely.
They get everybody riding up and down the freeway, and we come the back road here just so we can see the trees.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Petaluma.
Oh.
This is one of the few places where we actually go slower than the speed limit so we can enjoy everything.
Same with you?
Oh, absolutely.
I like this
good.
guy right here.
How you doing?
We knew we were in the country. Take a look at this, Louis. Get in tight on this guy.
Here? How you doing?
He's a local.
He's a local. Okay, we've come right across the street from the Redcrest Grocery to the Redcrest Resort, and a nice little resort it is, too. And here are the proprietors. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Louis Colantonio.
And I'm Jeannie Colantonio.
And you all are not natives to this area, are you?
No, we're natives of Southern California.
You moved up here how long ago?
3 years ago in May.
And
from Alhambra.
What was the culture shock like moving to a little place like this?
Big shock. There's not much shopping up here, but it's a beautiful place to live.
And it's kind of a slow, easy pace up here.
Very slow.
So
Very
you
slow.
run the little cabins here, which are just wonderful. This place probably has a history to it too, doesn't it?
Oh, sure. It was built back in the 30s, and it has the old stagecoach road, which runs behind the cabins. They used to, change the horses here to continue on to Eureka.
And these are wonderful little, this is the way it used to be.
Yeah, these are one-bedroom cottages. They have living rooms and kitchens and everything that anyone needs.
Here's one of your happy tenants over here. Couldn't help but notice you standing here on the porch. What's the story with you here? Where are you from?
Fremont, California.
And you're here for?
The Harley Run, the Redwood Run.
You're one of those Harley guys.
Yes.
I didn't recognize you without your leather and your helmet.
I just took them off.
Now, is this a big deal to stay in this place?
Yeah, this is our favorite place to stay. People that run it are great, and it's quiet, and we got the barbecue and the hot tub. It's great.
Yeah, this is the way to live, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I wouldn't change for the world.
And this is interesting, too. Before we turned the camera on, we were talking. I'm wearing a jacket and jeans. You're wearing, both of you, Bermuda shorts. What's the deal?
Well, when I left my last job, I said I'd never wear long pants again, and I moved up here, and I've been in these 365 days a year now, and the weather is like in the 50s in the winter.
Now, see, that's what amazed me. You were telling us, what's the elevation here?
350 feet.
Which surprises us and everybody else, doesn't it?
That's right, because it appears to be in the mountains when you see the large trees.
But really, we're not very high elevation at all.
Not at all.
And it doesn't snow here, and it doesn't get cold here.
No, like I said, in the winter, in the evening, it could drop down into the 40s. But during the daytime, we get a lot of rain, and it maintains usually in the 50s, doesn't it, Jeannie?
That is amazing. See, I thought it would really get cold up here in the wintertime.
No, it's beautiful up here all the time.
Every 10 years you'll get a little bit of dusting of snow, but it goes away in a couple hours and that's it.
Now see, this must be the most excitement you have in town all year when these Harleys pull into
The
town.
most noise we have.
Well, you'll just have to put up with it for one weekend.
We love them. We look forward to them every year.
The rest of the year, it's real quiet.
Yep.
You have anything you want to say to your friends and relatives down in Alhambra?
Hi, guys. Don't miss it at all.
Okay, John, last stop for your part of the tour.
Right.
Where have you brought us?
Well, we're halfway through the Avenue of the Giants, and we're at the Humboldt Redwoods Visitor Center entrance here.
So this is your visitor center back
this is
here.
the visitor center. We have about 600,000 visitors a year that go through the facility.
Really?
Yeah, very.
And out front, you've got what? Is this the...
I call this the Tree of Ages, and it's...
as opposed to the immortal tree.
As opposed to the immortal tree, right.
And what is the tree? Is this one of those that shows the cutaway and what you can see?
Right. This tree here, as you can see, we knew when it fell. It was 1,148 years old when it fell. And then it has high points in history, or low points, depending on what you think, when these things happen in history. So you can kind of see how big the tree was when these things happened through history.
Yeah, like here we've got the Magna Carta signed here.
Right.
Columbus lands in America. Drake lands in California, Pilgrims land at Plymouth Rock, Declaration of Independence. So this tree has been here a long time.
A long, long time, and probably our birthdays are on there somewhere too. But I have one more thing to see before we go inside, and this is the accurate weather predictor in Humboldt County. It's called the Weather Rock.
The weather, why are you laughing?
It's kind of weird. Kind of weird, because if it rains, you already know it's raining because you go outside.
Okay, wait a minute. What is he talking about?
Well, this is the Weather Rock, and it's able to predict the weather. If it's perfect weather, the rock never fails. There's a little thing here. If the rock is wet, it means that it's raining. And if the rock is covered with dust, there's a dust storm. And if it's windy, the rock is rocking, and I think you kind of get the idea. If there's a little snow on it, it might mean that it's snowing.
Who came up with this idea?
I don't know.
Somebody with too much time on their hands.
Somebody with too much time on their hands, yes. But it's quite popular, and they send out thousands of these Weather Rock information sheets all over the country.
Really?
So I'm sure there's many homes that have Weather Rocks in them, or outside of them.
Sounds like a pet rock.
Maybe at your house you could have one.
A Weather Rock, okay. We're heading in. Come on, kids. This is the last stop. We're heading into the Visitor Center. 600,000 people a year, you said, visit this place?
Right. This is the center of the park. Thank you. Let us in the door here.
Okay, we are inside the Visitor Center, and a beautiful Visitor Center it is, John.
Oh, yeah,
You've got... what have you got? Now, are these all animals and birds that are found in the park?
Yeah, these are the most common animals and birds. And these came to us vicariously through an untimely demise of these animals. None of them were harvested for this display, but
now,
these are the common animals.
Is this a black bear?
Yes.
Brown bear?
Well, he's a black bear that's brown.
Oh, okay.
Right.
This is a...
it's a fox, gray fox.
That is, gosh, you have mountain lions
here? Yeah, mountain lion, just like regular everywhere else in California, mountain lion or cougar, and two different kinds of skunks.
Oh, look, we got the skunks over here. Thank goodness we didn't see the real thing.
No, that's
Are there a
right.
lot of skunks in the park?
A lot of skunks, a lot of skunks.
Then we got over here...
Bobcat?
A bobcat.
Yeah.
And lots of...
various birds.
Birds.
Otter. There's an otter here.
You have otters in the park?
Absolutely, up and down the river.
Raccoons up in the tree there.
Yeah, blue herons.
Is this a turkey vulture?
Yes, turkey vulture.
And up here is...
red-tailed hawk.
A red-tailed hawk.
All right.
Boy, this is... Oh, wait a minute. We got some more over here. A porcupine.
Right, porcupine and coyote.
Coyote.
And, of course, the state bird, the California quail.
right here, next to the poppy,
right?
Our state flower.
It's like your logo.
Yeah, California's gold.
That's right.
All right, over here, we've got fish. Now, we haven't really stopped and talked about the water around here, but there's a lot of water around here.
Right, we have the Eel River, South Fork of the Eel River, and the Eel River run through the park, and this is a diorama depicting what's under the water.
Which is?
Steelhead and salmon you have here. There's two different kinds of salmon, the silver
What
and
is
king.
this?
That's a lamprey. The original explorers that came through here thought it was an eel, and they named the river the Eel River after a lamprey. It's really not an eel, it's a lamprey. So it's a misnamed river, but it's stuck.
Just like the lamprey is
just
sticking
like
to
he's
that
stuck
rock.
to that rock there, yeah.
Well, this is beautiful here. This kind of dominates the scene in here.
Yeah.
It's made of wood.
Yeah.
It looks like a truck of some kind. What is this?
Well, this is the Charles Kellogg travel log, and it's kind of a protracted story, but I'll give you the short version.
Look in here, Louis.
Yeah, take a look inside there.
It's all made of
one log.
Mobile home, a trailer that's made entirely of wood.
Right, it's one log that was taken out of the forest in 1917, and this vaudeville performer, Charles Kellogg, fashioned this log from one section of one tree out in the forest before this was park, and then traveled around the country on this 1917 Nash quad here, this World War I transport vehicle, and toured the country in a kind of a vaudeville act, selling war bonds for World War I and promoting the qualities of redwoods throughout the United States.
Wow, so it was like it was a traveling redwood tree.
Yeah,
log.
a traveling redwood tree, and he went all over the country singing like a bird. He was a bird caller and showing people the qualities of redwoods in this one of the first known motorhomes. I don't know if any
singing like a bird.
He had this innate quality that he could manipulate his vocal cords to actually recreate bird sounds, and that was his act. He was a vaudeville actor.
And wow.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of panels here that explain that, but kind of an obscure gentleman, but he did, again, we saw the Piercy tree, Piercy French's tree, and now this is another one of these artifacts that was an early promoter of redwoods that traveled throughout the country.
This traveled all over America.
Yes, all over America, New York City, Boston, all over.
And part of the idea was that the fellow driving it sang like a bird, but the other part of the gimmick was that he was traveling in a vehicle made from one tree.
Made from one tree.
So it would increase people's awareness of these huge redwood trees in California.
Exactly, and at the same time, he was selling World War I war bonds. So he was
what a
kind
gimmick.
of all-encompassing. Yeah.
And how did you get the...
His grandniece donated the log back to the Interpretive Association here, and they bought and restored the truck and reconstituted it here to be displayed. And Charles Kellogg thought one day he'd be famous again. He wrote in his memoirs, and of course, he is now.
All right, so right here beside the travel log on the wall here, Charles Kellogg, the nature singer, in his redwood travel log, the only person in the world who can put out a flame of fire with his voice, the only person in the world who can sing bird songs, the largest piece of hewn redwood in the world. And look at this, Louis. Here's there's Mr. Kellogg in his little travel log out under the redwoods.
Right, where we've been driving.
This is very, very strange.
It's unique.
And wonderful. Here's another one down here. The Soul of Sequoia, a forest play. What's the deal on this? This is Mr. Kellogg.
That's Mr. Kellogg. He was somewhat of a eccentric.
Look down here.
And he wrote a play called The Soul of Sequoia, and as you can see, it was to be made famous by annual performances.
These are the nymphs.
These are the forest nymphs in the early 20s, being very modern.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is a very appropriate way to end this part of our program with you. Thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you. Thanks for coming by. And if anybody out there is interested in the park, we do have a website, being the year 2000, and it's humboldtredwoods.org.
We'll put it on the screen.
Very nice.
As if you needed more visitors. Although
Right.
I guess you're always delighted to have visitors.
We're always open. We're always here.
Now, are you open during the winter months? How snowed in does it get up here?
We get about 100 inches of rain in the winter, but we're here. And so if you bring your raincoat, I'll be here.
Never snows up here?
Very, very rarely.
Yeah.
But we're here 365 days a year.
Now, where are your wife and kids? I wanted to say goodbye to them, but they're all scattered.
They've scattered off into the visitor center. Yeah, they're there. But they enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. I hope
Yeah.
they enjoyed spending part of the day with two guys from
Yeah.
L.A.
Well,
now
thanks,
your
Huell.
kids
Yeah.
have seen us up close.
Thanks, Louie. Yeah, very good. Yeah, thank
All right,
you.
here we are by the old travel log right here.
There it is, yeah.
You've shown us a lot of the beauty and the wonder of the Redwoods, and it's all part of the Avenue of the Giants.
Right.
And we really, all of us here in California, appreciate the good work that you and the other rangers are doing. And we've said it once before, but thank goodness this is a state park, and it is
Right.
being preserved for generations to come.
Right.
And that these wonderful trees have not been cut down. These old growth forests are
here.
still with us.
Right. They're waiting for all your viewers to come see.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Well, this is interesting. As we were leaving the Visitors Center, we ran into our friend from Michigan who helped the ranger's son out with his poison oak. You stayed in the van when we did that last interview with your dog, but I'm sure you're the one who found the medicine, aren't you?
Right, I have it. I carry it because I don't trust things.
All right, now we've got the dog in the picture. The dog's traveling with you from Michigan, right?
Right.
How does the dog like this redwood forest? Are you letting her run out through the...
No, not too much. I'm afraid of the poison oak.
Yeah. That poison oak keeps rearing its
Such
ugly.
long hair that it would get in there.
I got you. Now, this is what we're talking about. You've made a purchase here. Where did you buy this?
I bought this in the visitor center.
Pull this thing out so we can get a good look at it.
And I bought me a sequoia. I'm going to take him home and grow him to home.
You're going to plant a California sequoia tree in Michigan.
Sure.
Now, how long do you think it's going to take, let's unwrap it, to grow one of these things?
Well, maybe we'll both be gray-haired when it gets very big. What do you think about that?
But will it even grow at all in Michigan? What did they tell you?
No, they said they thought it would. It's not going to be as humid there. You know, we don't get the fog and the rain that you get, but the thing I worried about was the severe frost we get.
So will you protect it?
Yeah, we'll protect him in the house for a year or two and give him a whirl and get him going. And
wow, this is great. What a great souvenir.
Oh, yeah.
Have you got a place in your yard big enough to plant a sequoia?
No.
A redwood? Because someday that's going to be big.
His brother has a farm. He'll take it.
Well, we'll have a place for it. If it grows, we'll pay a place for
If
it.
it lives, we'll plant it.
What a great souvenir to take back from the redwoods here in California.
Beautiful place. Beautiful place.
Yeah. So you're leaving here with good stories.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I have never been to California, and that's why I wanted to come to see these trees.
Yeah. Well, stand over here. Let's get a goodbye shot of you all standing in front of this tree. See, this has all the rings on it. Yep. Yours will be like that someday.
Sure it will.
Here they are. Your names again are?
David Tegardine.
And?
Shirley Tegardine. And Princess.
And Princess. Visiting from Michigan. Visiting the Avenue of the Giants here in California, one of our wonders. Goodbye. Okay, we're ending up our road trip here on the Avenue of the Giants at one of the most popular tourist attractions on the entire 31-mile stretch of road. Here we are at the drive-through tree exhibit. Let me stop and get out and find out what the deal is here. Howdy, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Huell Hauser.
How you doing, JR?
And who's this with you?
This is
Josh.
Hi, Josh. Tell me about the exhibit here. What happens here? What about this drive-through tree? We hear it's the most popular exhibit on the whole Avenue of the Giants.
Yeah, it's the world-famous drive-through tree. It has a natural opening that lightning struck it years ago. Actually, it didn't strike the tree, but it strikes through the forest, and then fires go through, and it burnt out through the center. You could actually look up in the center of it and see the sky, but yet it's still growing. And it's quite an amazing tree, actually.
And what's the deal? People just drive in here, pay you a couple of bucks.
$1.50
What is it, $1.50? We're from PBS, so I'm going to need my change back from this $2.
Sure, no problem.
And we just drive in and drive through the tree, that's it?
Absolutely. And we also have a 2-story tree house in the back that's real cute. You can climb up to the 2nd story. You know, it's great for the kids. And we have a drive-on log and a walk-through stump. It's like a little park back there.
What do you mean a drive-on log?
Big old log you could drive your car on.
Where is that? Can you show that to me?
It's right there. You could drive your truck up and park it and take pictures of it.
Oh, so you just drive up on the log
Yep.
and take your picture up there. Do a lot of people from other places like to do that?
Yes.
Just cause what? There's such a big log, they've never seen one that big before?
Yeah.
You think that's worth $1.50?
Yeah. It's a good park.
It's good? It's a good park? Okay, we're ready to go.
Okay.
It's just as simple as driving through the log.
Absolutely. Something you don't do every day, you know?
Thousands of people do this every day.
Yeah,
You're
much.
getting rich off this gimmick, right?
I'm not. I just work here.
Okay, we're starting off by going up on the drive-on log. And I guess the deal is just to drive up here and park on top of a log. And when we recover from the excitement of doing this, we're going to go on the drive-through tree. Let's see if we can back off this thing. Here we go. We are driving off the drive-on log. Come on, Louie, and get in the car and let's drive through the tree. Okay, here we go. We're driving down this little one-lane road. Oh, there's a traffic jam at the drive-through tree. One of our motorcyclists is here. Oh, look at this. I hope our car can get in here. 7 by 7 foot clearance. Oh boy, this is a rental car too. Okay, here we go. Now this is an experience. We just drove through a tree. Now it's not every day you get to drive through a tree for $1.50. That's a deal. So whether you're driving through the drive-through tree or walking through the drive-through tree and looking up, you can see all the way up to the sky. It's all hollow inside here. This is an amazing sight. And you know what? This is just one of many amazing sights that we have experienced today here on the Avenue of the Giants. You can't be here very long before you are totally impressed, enchanted, and enthralled by the size and the majesty of these grand redwood trees, these California redwoods. And thank goodness they are here and preserved for generations to come. That's it. We did it. We traveled down the Avenue of the Giants and had a wonderful road trip.
We've been meeting members' travel, automotive, insurance, and financial needs since 1900. Over 4.5 million members turn to us for peace of mind and quality service. Find out more about all the ways Auto Club can serve you. 1-800-628-CLUB. The Auto Club. We're always with you.
Hi, I'm Huell Hauser, and if you enjoyed our road trip to the magnificent Avenue of the Giants and would like to see it again or share it with family and friends, it's available on video cassette. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727 and we'll send it to you right away.